Hey everyone, this is Michael with the general reading for Leo Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for January 2020. Hello and welcome, whether you're watching this video for yourself or cross-watching for another individual with Leo placements. I do hope that this video finds you all well. I just want to thank all of you who have supported this channel with your likes, shares, comments, and subscribes. It's because of all of you I am able to continue putting out these messages for the collective, which has been an absolute gift. So thank you all so much. If you haven't already, be sure to hit subscribe and follow me on my other social media as well so you don't miss out on any discounts or sales that I am offering. Last month I actually did have a big holiday sale where everything was 20% off, and I also had a giveaway which was won by Kimber and Jesse. They both won free readings for me that was held on my Instagram. So if you want to make sure that you don't miss out on any of my special offerings in the future, definitely follow me on all of my social media. I have the links in the description box down below, as well as links for personal readings, Reiki sessions, and donations for those of you who feel so called. Now, I know my viewers are very intuitive, and if you notice there's kind of a difference in my energy, I am sort of conserving right now. I am feeling a little low energy, I'm not gonna lie. I do want to finish these general readings, but I do also have quite a bit of personal readings that I need to get to still. So I may be taking down the readings for some time, just to kind of catch up and catch my own breath as well. I was really swamped, which was amazing. I was really swamped after the holiday sale, but I definitely am still playing some catch up from that. So if you are waiting on a personal reading from me, I do apologize. They are coming. I also apologize that I've been a bit slower with the emails. There's just been so many of them. I've actually been answering emails for hours each day, so it's been a lot. But yeah, I will be reinstating those readings and Reiki sessions if I do take them down shortly, probably after like a week or so, just to kind of give myself a break, kind of catch up and make sure that I got to everyone before I'm going forward. But I do want to get to your reading, Leo. I do want to see what is coming up for all of you. I will actually start off with an astrological report here. I do recognize that not everyone is interested in what is going on in the stars, and if that's the case, I will invite someone in the comment section down below to leave a timestamp, so you can just skip ahead to the actual reading and see what the cards have to say, although I do personally find that astrology and tarot do complement one another very well, especially on my channel. Now, this is going to be a really interesting month for you, Leo, because we do have a lunar eclipse in the 20th degree of Cancer. If you want to know how this is specifically going to affect you personally, I would really recommend looking at your own natal chart and figure out where that 20th degree of Cancer falls. I have a natal chart calculator in the description box down below that should be able to help you figure out what your other natal placements are, where this 20th degree of Cancer falls, or give you an idea if you have any planets there, or what house that last chunk of Cancer falls in. I do also have an astrological forecast blog as well if you want to get all the aspects and the dates that they occur in kind of a list form. I actually refer to that throughout the month as well. I do find that helpful. But anyways, I do feel like with this 20th degree Cancer eclipse, this is in your 12th house, Leo, which is your house of spirituality. I actually feel like there's a lot of deep healing that it may even be so deep you don't even realize that's what's happening. You're just feeling a lot of really strong emotions coming to the surface. If you do, that's normal, that's totally healthy and part of the purging process that the entire collective, will be going through. But for you especially, with this 12th house eclipse, there is a lot of spiritual blockages that you're going to be letting go, and a lot of things that are preventing you from seeing your subconscious. You're going to be seeing yourself very, very clearly. And I suspect you're going to be making changes in your day-to-day life, or maybe committing to more health routines, or more structure that is actually conducive to you as a spiritual being. I say that because right after that eclipse, we do have a conjunction in the opposite sign, Capricorn, on the 12th, January 12th. And this conjunction is between Saturn, Pluto, as well as the Sun, Mercury, and actually the asteroid Ceres as well. So it's a huge conjunction that's happening right after we're going through this really deep healing process. And it almost feels like the final test. Last year, 2019, was a year of a lot of trials, a year of a lot of lessons. If you were pouring your energy into something and it just didn't feel like it was going anywhere, this year there's been a lot of forward momentum with Jupiter having just entered Capricorn last month in December. We are seeing a lot of forward momentum, but there still may be one last test, and it's like, I don't think this is going to be something new. I don't think this is going to be something that kind of catches you out of left field. I feel like if there is sort of a breakdown, you'll be like, yeah, I kind of saw that coming. I should have known, right? And that's not to make any of you worry. That's not to freak any of you out. I know it's been a really rough year for a lot of people, and it's almost like part of the process of clearing the slate for this new year and this new decade that we are dealing with. So there's a lot of things that are going to be coming to the surface for you to heal, and it is a good time for you to really get serious about taking care of yourself and doing the things you're supposed to do to keep you healthy, because that is your sixth house. That is your house of routine. That is your house of work. It's your house of, your chores and kind of how you're living moment to moment. And it's interesting because you have the subconscious, the 12th house, which is in Cancer, and the Capricorn energy, which is in the 6th house. It's very much the conscious in a lot of ways. And so much of our lives, we live unconsciously. We are making decisions from an unconscious place, from old wounds, from beliefs that are limiting and don't really serve us. A lot of this is being healed. A lot of this is being brought to the surface. And while it may come in the form of an ending or something catalyzing you to purge, to heal on a very deep level, it may not be comfortable. It is giving a lot of opportunity for you to change your life. And that was kind of what was happening at the end of December as well. So maybe that happened for you, and something is happening this month where it's kind of a bump in the road. It's sort of the final exam of 2019, and I'm not going to lie to all of you, I do feel like 2020 is going to be a bit of an intense year. It's going to be one where there's a lot of power struggle that's going on with kind of the new and the old systems of power that are kind of the big players right now. But I am feeling like with Saturn moving out and back into Capricorn, it is going to sort of be a recurring theme for you. Getting your life in order, getting things on track, getting your health under wraps here. And I think it's possible for you. I'm not saying that you're not going to be able to do it, that this is going to be an awful year for you. But there's challenges, there's tests. That's how Saturn works. Saturn is kind of like the father figure where you ask for a puppy, but you have to prove you're responsible. That's what I've been saying in all of these videos. I'm sorry if you're so tired of hearing this from me, but Saturn is really setting us up for success. Even though it's traditionally considered a malefic planet, like Pluto, which is also considered a malefic planet, there is a positive aspect to this, because it's making sure that we are responsible, that we are ready for the thing we think we want, for you, the lifestyle that you think you want. And this is also you creating a lifestyle that helps you connect spiritually and open up to your own spiritual gifts, open up to your subconscious and heal in very deep ways. So it's actually quite profound, even if it's not something that seems very big on the surface. So that is really, really exciting. I do also know that we have an Aquarius full moon at the end of this month as well. So it's not all doom and gloom by any means. It's actually a very auspicious new moon, a very powerful time to manifest. When we're talking about eclipses, a good way of thinking about this is that these lunar cycles are amplified. So for the lunar eclipse on the 10th that we're going to be having in Cancer, it's like that full moon is going to be adding a lot of emotion. It's like triple the strength or quadruple the strength of a regular moon. And its influence is also felt for a longer period of time. It's talking about a larger cycle. So there's a lot of emotions that are coming up, and we're just going to be having these Cancer eclipses all year, hate to say. So it's going to be kind of an emotional year for you. But with this Aquarius new moon, there's a beautiful chance to manifest something very auspicious, to create a miracle. Because new moons are all about beginnings. They're all about setting intentions. And for you specifically, Leo, this is actually talking about partnership and love, long-term relationships with this 7th house in Aquarius energy. So that's really, really exciting. You can really manifest a powerful relationship or healing in your relationships on this new moon. And we had a very powerful new moon as well last month. If you did miss that one, this is a great second because there are just amazing things. It doesn't have to be love. It doesn't have to be romance. Again, actually figure out where this new moon will be falling in your specific natal chart, and that can actually help you figure out where you can be manifesting to the most effectiveness. You can really manifest anything, but it really does help, I've noticed, if it is tied to the astrology, to what is going on energetically. It really is quite a wide open window. But in general, we are looking at some powerful love manifestations for Leo, so that's really, really exciting. And I think that's pretty much it for the astrology report. I do want to get to the cards. Again, I have the astrology blog in the description box down below, as well as the natal chart calculator if you would like to figure out what your moon, rising, or Venus signs are. As I'm shuffling here, I just want to remind all of you that this is a general reading, meaning not all of the messages that come through are going to be meant for you specifically. Some of the energy may also come in the reverse. You are more than welcome to switch the roles as they fit your situation, so you could be this other person or vice versa. I may do that throughout the reading as well. If you are cross-watching, there is a good chance that you are showing up as the other person if you're watching for another individual who has Leo placements. And if this video does not resonate, which it will not for all of you, again, you are more than welcome to look at your moon, rising, or Venus signs. I just set the intention for each of these videos to reach the widest audience who needs to hear the message in this moment. Anyway, so what are the messages for Leo coming into January? For the start of January, for the start of this year, really. And do keep in mind these time frames are pretty open right now because the eclipse is, again, it is like 6 months out for some of these energies for some of you. So keep that in mind. Sorry, my face is so itchy. Okay. And it is just a general reading, so it's going to apply in different ways for everybody. All right. So right away, I feel like a lot of you are dealing with an air sign. We have the Knight of Swords in the reverse, the High Priestess, and the King of Swords in the reverse. So again, a lot of air sign energy. You could be dealing with a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. Doesn't have to be, but those are energies that are kind of sticking out right now. I do feel like there is a lot of uncertainty for you, and this makes perfect sense with all of this energy that is going to be happening in your 12th house, with this energy in Cancer. And as we have all of these planets moving through Capricorn, it is opposing this Cancerian energy. It's like all of the energy is on one side of the scale, and it does affect the other side. And something is feeling quite uncertain. I feel like there's not a lot of communication that's going on that feels very productive. Some of you may not be talking to some people as well. There just might be very little conversation that's happening, maybe from a place of ego or people just holding on to what they think is true. I'm kind of getting that for some reason. I do also see with this Knight of Swords, it's this inability to move forward or kind of this fear of taking action. There is this need to take pause at the start of this month to really assess things, feel things out, feel out this energy. Whenever I have the High Priestess in a reading, especially in the center position like this, the heart of the reading here, this does tell me that there is a lot you're not supposed to know right now. And if you're trying to figure things out, if you're trying to figure out the future right now, I don't think you're necessarily going to have that clarity, at least in the start of this month. You are kind of being tested, and things are also still being... I think there's a lot in the timelines right now that is very up in the air, so there may still be things that are trying to solidify more. And things are a bit uncertain, which is actually quite a powerful energy. This is a very strong time for you to open up to universal energy with this High Priestess. Some of you are also feeling a lot of things emotionally, and it's almost like with these reversed court cards, these air court cards in the reverse, you're almost feeling the emotions that they don't want to deal with. You're almost being the drain pipe for the people around you, and that's exhausting. And maybe that's why there's this closed off communication. Maybe some of you are also pulling away from people to kind of just protect your own energy here. So this is really, really interesting so far. I kind of want to pull some more cards just to kind of clarify what we have. What are we uncertain about? What is this Knight of Swords in the reverse doing here? Tell me more about the Knight of Swords. It's like the plans keep changing on you. Or you keep having a sense of what you think it is that's going to happen, or what you think you want, and then that shifts. Really slippery energy there. And this could also be referring to someone around you. Maybe there's someone who's very in and out with you. And you're sensing something about that. So tell me about this Knight of Swords in the reverse. Show me clearly. There we go. Six of Wands in the reverse. I feel like you're afraid to move forward in a situation, and this feels like in your daily life. It could possibly be involving romance, but I'm getting more the sense of like, where am I going in my life? What sort of work am I doing? Where am I living? Earthy stuff like that. It seems like you're having a hard time making a decision or taking some sort of action because of something that didn't pan out. Maybe there was something you were expecting to have happen that just didn't happen with the Six of Wands in reverse. You were kind of counting on something. I almost get the sense, though, that this is really feeling like a trauma or a wound because of something from the past that didn't end up going the way you had wanted. You're now in a similar situation where you're afraid to take this action, this forward movement, and it's really, really important and essential that you connect to your intuition. I don't know if this answer is going to come to you right away, so if you do need to make this decision now, go with your gut. But I think it's really important for you to stay open, to kind of play with this energy for a while if you have that choice. I do want to see what's going on with this King of Swords as well. Actually, they want me to clarify the High Priestess. So tell me about the High Priestess. Tell me more. Something was done recklessly in the past. Maybe this is just the way that you've approached life, and you're seeing that something needs to change, but you're not quite sure how to change it. Change your approach. And so I do have the Seven of Wands that fell out in the reverse. Interestingly enough, it actually fell right between the King of Swords and the High Priestess, which is the cards I was looking at clarifying. So maybe I'm supposed to be clarifying both of them with the Seven of Swords. And again, we're going from the Six of Swords in reverse to the Seven of Swords in reverse. There is this feeling of loss, of being overwhelmed, and feeling like you need to protect your energy, but it's like you can't do that. If you're coming from this really guarded place, Leo, you're often not coming from an empowered place. I actually think the best protection energetically is a strong sense of self, is a strong sense of your power. When you really feel your power, you don't feel like you need to protect yourself all the time. You don't feel like you need to be defensive or fighting something off or justifying yourself to the people around you. Maybe that's why this past stuff is coming up, because it's like, well, maybe they're right. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I shouldn't behave this way. And it feels like a lot of this is coming from an air sign for you, but it really could be anybody. And with the Seven of Wands in the reverse, it's like, you almost get this sense of what is coming. It's like, something isn't going to go the way that you want it to. And that's why this High Priestess is coming up. And it's also reminding you of a situation from the past. And you're not sure what to do. You're really indecisive here. I'm going to pull an animal card because I think that should really clarify what it is that you need to actually do right now. Because your intuition is telling you something is going to happen, something that feels a little overwhelming. But I almost get the sense that it's something that's happened before. It's like, this is coming back, and it could be involving this air sign individual, or it could just be a situation where you were a bit reckless and now something is coming back. And maybe you don't feel like you're ready to deal with that. So what is the animal wisdom? Show me clearly. Perfect. Dragonfly. So this is actually the perfect card, because Dragonfly is constantly changing directions, constantly changing your mind, trying to get things from a different perspective. When I see these compound eyes, it's like really looking at things from all different angles and trying to get a whole picture, but it can be overwhelming. And with Dragonfly energy being associated with water, your mind is very watery, because this is an air card, as indicated by the alchemical symbol for air. But again, it's kind of the communication between the mind and the emotions. And that's also this intuitive connection here as well. There's a lot of mental energy and a lot of action that isn't very conducive, and it's shaking you. You're not very clear. It's not a crystal clear image right now. Your mind is very susceptible to the energy around you, to what is coming. You're a little bit anxious, and it's important for you to breathe. And before you make any decision, be sure that you are coming from a place of clarity. Try not to rush into something here. And if you do need to make a decision again, because sometimes we don't always have the luxury of taking our time to figure something out, to feel out a situation, just take a few deep breaths. Take a cleansing breath. Remember to breathe. And just still your mind to the best of your ability, and make that decision based off your intuition. Make that decision for what seems right in the moment. But it's like I see this desire to move, to take action, but also feeling stuck. And now is really more the time to quiet your mind. There is movement involved, and some of you are actually changing your life path in some way. There is a life change that's happening. There is a change in direction that might not feel comfortable or stable. So you can call on Dragonfly as a totem or a spirit animal to help you change direction in your own life in a seamless way, because they are the masters at changing direction. They're able to just zip around in the air very suddenly, turning around. So they're very good at helping us make sudden changes that we need to make, which some of you, it's like you need to make it, but there's this resistance to it as well. So that's really interesting. Really clear your mind. Get very clear on what it is that you want before you proceed here. All right, where is all of this going? Let's see, what is the future looking like for my for my Leo folks. I do feel like there's some Gemini energy here though, with that Dragonfly and all this air sign energy. What is going on for Leo? for the second half of January and beyond. Show me clearly. Where is all of this going? Yes, someone's holding back communication, that's for sure. And it's almost like you're waiting for their input, but honestly, Leo, I think you need to kind of make a decision for yourself here. What is this delay? I'm being told to shuffle 3 times. Alrighty. Okay. So we have the Chariot in reverse, the Ace of Cups in the reverse, and the Five of Cups in the reverse. And I do have 5 at the bottom of the deck here as well, with this 5 of Wands, which was showing up earlier at the bottom of the deck as well. Something isn't going the way that you want, and you're not able to proceed with something I think that you thought you wanted in the past, Leo. And while there is this feeling of disappointment, might be involving a Cancer or something to do with Cancer season, so that end of June to end of July time period, you might be hearing that something isn't happening that you were looking forward to, or there is this change in your direction. Maybe that's why you're not moving forward, because you know something is about to change. Or if there's just been a lot of blockages or oppositions, you're just not being allowed to proceed. It will actually be to your benefit. I don't want you to try and force your way through something here. And I'm not going to lie, this could very well be involving a relationship for some of you with this Ace of Cups. I could definitely see that. Maybe some unrequited love. Or kind of the end of a relationship here, or the end of a connection. Especially if you are involved with... I'm getting a lot of Gemini energy, so maybe even Gemini Cancer cusp person for a few of you out there. Again, it doesn't have to be, but it is registering its energy that's showing up on the table. But it seems like there's this sense of sorrow, this sense of sadness. But with the 5 of Cups in the reverse, this actually doesn't look so bad. Because this 5 of Cards upright, it's kind of like the energy of wallowing. Crying over spilled milk is the expression that's often used with this card. And with it in reverse, yeah, there's some things that fell over here. But you're seeing that there's still something remaining. Not all hope is lost just because something didn't go the way you had wanted it to. And I actually feel like you're very aware of that, although it does hurt. I'm not gonna lie, and that's okay. It's okay to feel that way. And I think it's making you feel confused about your future and the life that you want to live. And there's a lot I was dealing with the 12th house eclipses in 2018 and 2017. Those were not easy. So it's not a really easy cycle, but it did actually lead me to the work that I'm doing today in a very literal way. It basically made me have to change my whole life and really structure myself, really start meditating and taking care of myself and removing myself from situations that weren't really conducive to my spiritual well-being. But at the time it felt awful. But I think you kind of know that's happening, Leo, because this 5 of Cups, it's like you're trying not to get too deep into this disappointment. Whatever it was that didn't go your way. But there's still some sorrow here, and I think that is something you should be aware of and something you should allow yourself to feel and really observe. A lot of the time when we focus on the contents of our emotions, so, basically focusing on the things that happened, psychological research has shown that we actually tend to become more depressed or more anxious about the situation. But if we really just experience it and practice mindfulness with it, it can be very healing. So it's all about mindset. It's all about your perspective here. Are there any other cards? Tell me more about this Ace of Cups in reverse. I'm actually being told no, pull an animal card. As I was talking to, I'm feeling a lot of stuff going on in my solar plexus chakra, which is the chakra of willpower, our sense of self. Interesting. So there may be a blockage there in this group, especially if you're feeling depleted of energy. Fox and elk coming out as energies here. I think this is you committing to a more solid foundation or building on a more solid foundation for yourself with this elk energy. Fox is kind of interesting because it is this sort of slippery energy, which I was picking up earlier. With this lack of communication, maybe this in and out communication. Sometimes Fox does indicate a long-term connection, but I'm going to be honest, I feel like this is actually talking about a romantic connection that is kind of slipping away. And it's like, they have the expression, foxes mate for life. It's like, even though foxes are very elusive, very mysterious, they'll come in and out. You'll see one, and the moment it spots you, it runs away. It's sometimes a matter of trying to follow that person, but I'm actually not getting that sense here. It feels like you're dealing with someone who's very... They kind of do as they please, and you almost need to step into a divine masculine energy here with this elk card. You need to build something solid for yourself. You need to be stable in yourself right now. It could be you who's ending this relationship too, because it's you realizing, my mate, my life mate, this isn't them. There's someone else. I want something that feels more solid, more stable. So even though this is the January reading, I'll be very curious for you to look back some months from now, maybe even all the way out into Cancer season, because these eclipses can affect up to 6 months in the future. And that will be right around this Cancer season. So by the time the next eclipses roll by, I'll be very curious to see what happens, because I'm getting the sense something doesn't go the way you want it to. It's hard, it hurts, and it feels like there's... You're really trying not to get too defeated here. It is important for you to reach out for help. is the other energy with this card too, this Fox card. Especially towards someone who is more stable. But it feels like this is kind of the end of a connection of some kind, or the end of something that you thought you wanted, but there's actually something better. And maybe this slippery energy that's keeping mirrored back at you, are you committed to your own best interest? And if not, how are you able to expect someone else to be? We live in a law of attraction universe where everything is basically a hall of mirrors. And while certain relationships will reflect from different angles, or maybe even be like a funhouse mirror, kind of distort the image a little bit, it is ultimately reflecting back what is there. And I'm seeing for you, this thing that you lost isn't, I almost get the sense it's not what you really wanted. It was more about the achievement. So there's some big changes that are happening for you, Leo. And that could also be a relationship too. It's like you wanted to be in a relationship for the sake of being in a relationship, but you're realizing it's not actually what you want. And even though it's the end of something that's quite painful, again, it's like you're not really wallowing this either. It is also really important for you to take care of yourself with this Elk card. I know the book talks about needing to eat right, take care of your body, which is a lot of what's happening with your 6th house energy in Capricorn. There are a lot of emphasis on really making a routine for yourself and making a routine to take care of yourself. So if you're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be committing to, commit to that. Commit to taking care of yourself, to loving yourself in that way, to eating right, to exercising, to going to bed on time. That's actually going to help you find a healthy partner if you are committed to your own health. I do want to pull a color healing card for you as well, Leo. Okay. I'm going to take this one too, because this almost came out, this emerald card. Rose, attract a relationship. Just saying, we were just talking about this. Attract a relationship you actually want to be in. And then Emerald, calm your mind, body, and soul. This reminds me a lot of this Dragonfly energy we were talking about earlier. So I'm going to start with Rose. I'm going to read this straight from the book, but you are more than welcome to follow your own intuition and use these colors in whatever way feels most helpful or beneficial to you. Personally, I've been doing kind of an art therapy journal with this deck, and I will create a picture using the color and write myself affirmations kind of based on the card, but you are more than welcome to do whatever it is that feels right, but I will be providing kind of a guided visualization from the book. So Rose is a color of romance, deep love and affection that assists with opening the heart and attracting healthy relationships into your life. It can help you if you have a low self-esteem, loneliness, and sadness. And rose is also a great color for releasing worry and stress. Oh my God. So the rose color helps to attract love into someone's life. Today, wear a rose color top, shirt, or hat. Focus on this color and allowing yourself to be more playful and have fun. Different shades of pink, especially rose, awaken your heart and allow you to be open to other people. Use a pink pen to write down all the things you love about yourself. As you become aware of your value, so will other people. This is that hallway of mirrors thing I was talking about. And again, when you love on yourself by taking care of yourself, that does send out that ripple in the universe where it is rippled back at you. Write down all the people you love in your life and let the love energy build. Allow yourself to feel grateful for all these wonderful people. The more you feel, the easier it is to attract more of it. If you are looking for a relationship, write down all the qualities you would like in a person. Then close your eyes and imagine placing your list into a rose bubble. Observe it as it floats out into the universe, looking for your perfect mate. Now all you have to do is stay open for this wonderful person to come into your life. Say, Divine Intelligence, I am attracting wonderful people with open minds and loving hearts into my life. I love this card for you, Leo. This is perfect for this reading. So Emerald 30, let's see. Calm your mind, body, and soul. Emerald helps with overcoming fears, releasing frustrations, and creating calm. Use this color to bring harmony to challenge situations, dissolve aggression, and mend a broken heart. Emerald also increases self-esteem, attracts abundance, and replenishes your energy. Calm your mind, body, and soul with emerald rays. Go into a garden and take deep breaths of fresh air as you focus on the greenery all around you. Place your hands on the grass to feel the healing, calming energy it contains. Imagine what it would be like to be a blade of grass, growing without resistance. Breathe in its emerald rays, allowing peace and calm to flow through you. Say, Divine Love, I rejoice in the wonder of nature. Every time I focus on the greenery around me, I feel calm, perfect balance, and harmony. And again, this reminds me a lot of this Dragonfly card, finding this balance. Making sure that your mind is in a clear place, grounding yourself. This is a great exercise for you. And those are all the messages I have right now for you, Leo. I do hope that this reading was helpful. I do feel like there is this new love that is trying to come in. I do feel like there is this new relationship, but for a lot of you, I feel like there is the end of one relationship and opening yourself up to this fox energy, to this soulmate, life mate energy, and using this rose card can be very, very helpful. So as you're letting go, I do hope that this reading was helpful, that it provides some sort of healing or insight for you. I know there's a lot of confusion right now with the High Priestess. I do have links in the description box for personal readings and Reiki sessions for those of you who want some individual attention, some personalized assistance here. Again, they may be down for a moment, but they will be back up, so don't panic. Just check back in every few days until I bring those back up, and I'll also mention on YouTube and my other social media if I'm taking stuff down. But yeah, those links are available, and I hope to catch you all in the next video. I am wishing you a happy and wonderful 2020 and a great January. Take care.